Sure. Hello, everybody. Dan Schwartz here. Originally from the East Coast of the U.S. Grew up in a place called Norwalk, Connecticut. Went to school in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and have been living in Thailand going on my 19th year. So my main things I do is consult with a number of different companies outside of Thailand and help them with their business development, marketing, and teach people crypto and help members and help people we know to acquire funding. A little history. My first international trip was in 1987, but I didn't make it to Thailand until April of 1998. I've been all over the region. I've been to Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan, just never had a reason to come to Thailand. So in April of 1998, I worked for an aviation company. At the time, it was called Aeronautical Radio was the original name. So that's who I worked for. And they had a partner over here called Aeronautical Radio of Thailand that they helped set up in 1949, if I remember correctly. So we had a partnership and I was running the partnership. So I got to Thailand in 1998. And then I wound up running this area of the world for the same company. And I started coming here regularly and I was splitting my time between the US and here. And then I met my first Thai wife, but I was 3 to 6 weeks US, 3 to 6 weeks over here. So that's how I got here at the time and been here ever since. Well, the biggest challenge I'd say was understanding that this country is different than the one I came from. And that's an internal thing that people have to deal with and have to have an open mind, and you have to understand that wherever you come from. This language was a challenge, and just personal awareness is what I would say. Things are different here. Just people don't really remember I'm an American. American, has a bit of a rep, as big, ugly Americans and things like that. When they're abroad, they think, well, it should work exactly the way it works at home. But that's one comment I'll make. This isn't Kansas, Toto, from The Wizard of Oz. Just have to accept that's something you have to learn. So anybody that's coming here needs to understand we're guests in this country. This is Thailand and it's Thais, and it works the way they want it, independent of how I think it should work or how I want it to work or what I'm used to. So everybody has to change their mindset. That was the thing, the biggest challenge was just to get over being an American. And I had some clients in Thailand, but I also had all of Asia. So for inside of Thailand, for most any kind of business, besides just the normal stuff I was doing in the aviation field, I went to virtually every networking event. I set up and ran networking events of my own with partners. And I went to the various Chamber of Commerce events and other networking presentations around town and had an open mind and learned early on from some really good people. And I've used that my entire life. The mindset is nobody's going there to buy anything. Everybody's going there to meet people. And if you keep that in your mind and you make connections, you get known for helping people, then naturally they will send you business. So those were all the ways, I used, and I would recommend anybody use, it still pretty much applies today, to find clients in Thailand. Too hard. When I needed to hire people, I didn't run this big company where I had 500 staff. So I haven't lived through doing anything like that. But I will share a funny story. Back then I was helping this tourism company. We were doing some things and we were trying to hire Thai salespeople. And to keep costs down, we wanted to make it 100% commission. You don't have to pay for anything, but it's totally driven by commission, and got like no applicants. And I showed it to my ex and she's like, yeah, most Thais won't take 100% commission job. They would rather have a guarantee of say 20,000 baht base and top end maybe is 120. If they sold the exact same thing So again, it's understanding the culture and understanding how people think, what they look for. America is very different. In America, salespeople will take 100% commission jobs. And if you're paying all the expenses and they know that they can sell, or they believe they can sell, and they believe what you offer is something that's sellable, you'll find all kinds of people willing to do 100%. But again, that's different. So again, people have to learn. I learned that one because it's like I didn't quite get it. So my recommendation to everybody is try and understand why people think the way they think, how they're brought up, because America is not the same as Thailand. You can't expect people to think exactly the way you were raised because they weren't raised the same way. Not saying it's bad or good. It's just people are people. And you have to respect that they come from a different culture, and you have to adapt if you want to be successful. First thing is, I would focus, if it was me, if I was starting all over again, I would locate operations here. In other words, come in, there's lots of smart software people, lots of smart people in Thailand, and the government, I believe, would be really happy. You come in, you set up operations, you hire 30, 40, 50, 100 staff because they would like to see employment, and set up your operations from here. Do some business in Thailand. I'm not saying don't, but your real focus of your business inside Thailand, and my recommendation to everybody, is make it operational, and don't expect you're going to generate all your business inside Thailand. So keep your clients in America, if you're talking Americans, or you have European customers or Singapore or other places. Thailand's a great place to hub from because low-cost airlines, if you want to keep costs down, to take you everywhere. Air Asia and Thai Viet Jet and all kinds of airlines can take you all over Southeast Asia very inexpensively. So it's a great place to hub and operate from here and get business from everywhere. Like make this your regional Asian headquarters kind of thing. I mean, that's what I'd recommend to people because you can get good people, you can get people at reasonable costs, and the infrastructure is great here. 5G's here quicker than I believe, it was in America in some cases. Couple of things I'd tell people to encourage them. Number one, the biggest recommendation that I make for people who want to think about moving here is, one, take the plunge. I mean, you only live once. It's a beautiful place. There's a ton of things you can do, but you can go and do anything you want, and you can live a wonderful life without having to spend a huge amount of money. So for people who are afraid of this, that, and the other thing, I encourage everybody who has an interest, come here, start a business here. Or if you have an employer that lets you work remotely, come here and enjoy. It's a beautiful place. You can live a phenomenal life here, and you're not forced to spend huge money. And if you want to go splash it out on the town, you can find, places that rival the most expensive places ever. So there's something for everybody. I mean, that's probably the biggest word of encouragement I can give. It's not hard to do things here. The infrastructure's phenomenal. The train system, they keep expanding, so you don't have to live in the heart of downtown if you don't want to. So it has so much to offer. And if you're thinking about doing it, especially if you're younger, do it. What's my favorite thing in Thailand? Well, my wife and my 8-year-old, those are two of my favorites. I have a wonderful family here. My most favorite thing, I'd probably say the food. You can get anything you want. If you like Korean, you get Korean. You like Japanese, you get Japanese. You like American style food, there's plenty of those places. Of course, without saying all kinds of Thai food, from seafood to the more exotic things. And there's something for everyone. Of course, the other thing about Thailand that I enjoy a lot, kind of mentioned it from a business perspective, but it's a great place to hub from. You can get to tons of places within 2 or 3 hours maximum flying time for not huge money. So we take advantage and go places fairly regularly. And then finally, there's tons to do inside of Thailand itself. Now, you can spend all your free time exploring Thailand. So I love that the variety, you can do so many things, and it's really totally up to you. What are your personal preferences? But the key is go do something. Don't just get up in the morning, go to work and go home and get up and go to work. If you're going to do that, you could have stayed home in America and done that.